The Truth Girls. Truth Girls.
Hi everyone.
Truth Girls.
I'm a woman, so why am I not on board with the Women's March on Washington? I'll tell you why. Because I'm pretty convinced that this is actually a bait and switch technique being used by the globalists to sow discord. The march is not what you think it is. Check this out. December 21st, 2016, organizers hope Women's March on Washington inspires, evolves. Now here's something really of note. When this march was planned, they specifically said this is not a march against Donald Trump, it's a march for women's rights. They did also mention that they thought Trump was a male chauvinist pig, but that wasn't the main reason for their march. So why is it that in this picture for the march that's not supposed to be anti-Trump, what you see prominently displayed are signs, love Trump's hate. Notice the word Trump. So how come now that the march is happening, the headlines are all about things like, Women's March Against Donald Trump is the largest day of protesters in US history, not only in America, but worldwide. Donald Trump, Women's March rallies bring millions together worldwide to protest against new US president. So now apparently it is all about Trump. Okay, but originally they said it was supposed to be for women's rights, not actually the election or inauguration of Donald Trump per se, and yet that's what it's turned out to be. So how did this happen? Well, I think I know what happened. First of all, let's go and look at the Women's March page. What does it say here? Indeed, there's no mention of Donald Trump. Unity principles. They talk about ending violence, reproductive rights, LGBTQIA rights, workers' rights, civil rights, disability rights, immigrant rights, environmental justice. Okay, but the thing is, when you're marching, you need to have a specific goal. So what is the goal here? Well, I think the best clue to this is what it says under civil rights. We believe it is time for an all-inclusive equal rights amendment to the US Constitution. In any case, though, it's like this march has a little something for everyone. You know, this march reminds me a little bit of the Country Joe and the Fish song from the 60s. And it's 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. I'm marching for my freedom of religion. I'm marching so all women can have access to birth control. I'm marching for the environment. I'm here protesting for marriage equality. I thought we were marching so undocumented workers could demand minimum wage. I'm marching as a member of an anarcho-syndicalist commune. I thought we were an autonomous collective. Oh, now we see the violence inherent in the system. Help! Help! I'm being repressed! What exactly are we trying to accomplish? I'm not sure specifically, but whatever it is, it's important. And it doesn't matter that the person to the right of me is marching for something that I don't agree with, and that the person on the left of me doesn't agree with what I'm marching for. I'm marching to put an end to violence against women. Help! Help! I'm being repressed. Look at me, I'm a walking vagina. We're all in this together. Let's just march. Oh, I'm just here because I thought they were giving out free beer. So but the question is, how did this go from being a march for women's rights in general to a march against Trump? The media wants you to believe that this whole huge manifestation of people has arisen for the purpose of protesting against Donald Trump. But as you see, it didn't start out that way. So how did this happen? What I think happened is that the two were conflated. I personally think that when this march was started, with these sort of general, vague principles that no one can really disagree with, there's a little something in there for everyone, a lot of people were on board. And as this march is progressing, the organizers and the media are presenting it as a march against Donald Trump. This is now giving the world the impression that nobody wants Donald Trump. The American women are marching against him. Women in France, women all over the world. It gives this impression of solidarity against Trump, which isn't really the case. What I see happening here is a bait and switch. Come and march for women's rights. Okay, now you're marching against Trump. This is how it's working out. So how did this whole thing happen? Because clearly it's very well organized, and this clever technique has been used to get people going on one thing, throw in the other, and sort of switch them over to what you want them to be doing. Well, I think it's no coincidence that billionaire George Soros has ties to more than 50 partners of the Women's March on Washington. What is the link between one of Hillary Clinton's largest donors and the Women's March? Turns out it's quite significant. And there he is, the gremlin in the machine. There's the smoking gun for you. Now don't forget, George Soros and his organizations were behind Black Lives Matter movement, behind the protests following the election, now behind the Women's March. And he represents the Clinton supporters and the globalists who are very upset that Trump has won. And what I think they've done is created this bait and switch march to further their agenda and their propaganda. They're getting people to participate in creating the globalists' own propaganda. It's really the globalists who are marching against Trump, but they're getting people to do the footwork for them. I don't think any of this reflects the truth about Donald Trump. I mean, he just got elected. Nobody even knows what he's going to do yet. Oh, so far, he did one good thing. He got rid of that penalty that people in America have to pay if they haven't bought health insurance. So that's one thing he did. Globalism refers in large part to trade and how that's approached. And it's a system that really benefits huge corporations. It doesn't benefit the middle class, that's for sure. And it doesn't benefit the people who are working for those corporations in the third world countries. It makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. And that's a huge part of the globalist agenda. And so Trump represents a break from that. And he's a real threat to the globalist economic and trade agenda because he wants real reforms. So there could be a real shift in power. And I think what's happening here is that the globalists are doing whatever they can to sow as much chaos as possible. Trump got elected. It's a threat to their power. They don't like it, and they're going to do whatever they can. So the march, it's being used as just a way to sow a lot of chaos and discord and to get the whole world marching against Trump, even if they didn't start out that way. So this is why I personally, as a woman, would not be joining in on this march. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think. Thanks for liking this video. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.
Curls.